healthy.
The humanitarian nightmare grows in the Balkans. Ethnic Albanians fleeing Serb attacks in Kosovo hit a bottleneck at the border. Milosevic remains defiant in the face of bombing and a Russian peace overture. Social Security, Medicare, and the booming U.S. economy. And water everywhere. But what are you really getting in that bottle of high-priced H2O?
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. On the seventh day, the U.S. and its allies dropped more bombs on Serbian forces, but they did not hit Belgrade, and they did not stop the Serbs' drive to empty Kosovo of ethnic Albanians. Here's the latest. NATO is now bombing around the clock and considering what it calls a major escalation of the target list. Thousands of Albanians are still pouring out of Kosovo, while thousands more pile up at the border. Serbian leader Milosevic offered what he called concessions if the bombing stops. President Clinton said quickly, not nearly good enough, and that NATO is united and determined to fight on to stop what the West sees as genocide. CBS News correspondent David Martin begins our report from the Pentagon.
Bad weather continues to hamper NATO airstrikes, forcing some of the stealth fighters to return to base without dropping their bombs. After 7 nights of bombing by the world's most powerful military alliance, the bottom line is this.
It is difficult to say that we have prevented one act of brutality at this stage.
Reconnaissance photos show not just the results of Allied bombing, but also evidence of the Serb scorched earth policy in Kosovo.
And this shows the burning buildings and houses which have been set on fire by the Serb police.
Even with good weather, Pentagon officials admit airstrikes cannot destroy the Serb army fast enough to prevent the depopulation of Kosovo.
We knew that a knockout punch would not come quickly. We're in now to the 7th day. I think it will take much longer.
Pentagon officials tell CBS News the U.S. has been urging NATO to up the ante by striking the Serb capital of Belgrade and making good on a threat the NATO commander delivered on the first day of bombing.
President Milosevic and his military leaders should understand that there is no sanctuary for them.
The outskirts have been hit, but downtown Belgrade has so far been off limits for fear of causing civilian casualties. Pentagon officials say attacking targets in the capital could not guarantee killing Milosevic or even convincing him to call off the offensive, but it would at least make it harder for him to recover.
Besides, one senior officer said, it is obscene for the man responsible for what is happening in Kosovo to be allowed to remain out of harm's way. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Reports coming out of Kosovo today paint a grim picture of Serb atrocities, mass evictions, executions, robbery, and arson. Kosovo's second largest city, Peć, was said to be almost destroyed, its best houses taken over by the Serbs, and the rest in flames. As for the people, the men, women, and children, Kosovo's Albanians have been forced aboard buses or onto the roads to march to the borders. What began as a steady stream of refugees out of Kosovo has now become a flood. In the past year, an estimated 500,000, mostly Muslim Albanians, have been driven from their homes. 100,000 in the past week alone. They are fleeing to the south, into neighboring Albania, at a rate of 4,000 an hour. Tractors full of misery, of people frightened and full of grief. They burned our house. We left, then they shelled us. This refugee said, my little girl died. Some 40,000 Kosovars have headed west to Serbia's sister state of Montenegro.